Speaking of unlikable institutions, though, I want to talk about Harvard University, which has been in the news all week and been actually in the news for ages for its failure to crack down on things like anti-Semitism and its general kind of Marxist nonsense. But this I found fascinating. They are fighting their PR front against the Trump administration in the weirdest way. And they're saying, hey, if Donald Trump cuts our funding, we might have to euthanize our research animals. I mean, I kind of feel like that's sort of a tone-deaf sort of thing. You know, if you don't give us money, we're going to shoot this animal that we're torturing in a lab somewhere.
Well, James, I am a comedian. I like to make jokes, but I'm not surprised that they use this analogy because they don't care about euthanizing animals. These people are the same people that will have a child tell a psychiatrist that they're going to kill themselves if they don't get gender reassignment surgery. So they use suicide and death as a negotiation tactic all the time. So if you think Harvard, they don't even care about their students, much less their research animals. So to be fair, I'm not surprised, but it's sick. It's disgusting. And, whether Harvard is really that anti-Semitic, they have had some anti-Semitic leaders and they've had some issues with protests there. But the bigger issue is that they're anti-Trump. They're trying to, I guess, buck the trend. And nobody likes Harvard. Everybody, there's these elitists. They're just not likable. So for me, as a guy that went to LSU, Louisiana State University, not saying I'm the smartest guy, I did graduate from there. It makes us people that went to state schools and public schools right when it comes to the elitism at some of these Ivy League schools. And I'm not surprised that Harvard would kill a few animals to get some vengeance on administration that they don't like.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, gosh, nothing would surprise me at this point. Hey, I want to ask you very quickly, though. There was also a new survey that's come out talking all about the rise of violence on the left and how basically people on the left think that violence is acceptable. Now, you spent a lot of time going out and chronicling lefties on campuses, and it's really funny. But also, tell us, though, do you see when you do this that there is a tolerance, and a willingness to kind of take things from words to physical action? And does this concern you?
Well, James, it does concern me, and I'm very lucky that I work with Turning Point USA and that I go there as Alex Stein to speak, but I kind of play this character, Charlie Kirk, because obviously I'm not as popular as Charlie Kirk, and Charlie thinks it's funny. So my point is I go to these college events, and I get hundreds of people. At LSU, we had over 500 people. My point is I've had hundreds of people at these events. Most of the events have been safe, but recently I had one at UTD where a trans student got a bike lock and hit my producer and broke his cell phones. And then the next week at another event, hit two students and got arrested. And when the cops tried to arrest the student, the student fought. This is a national story. It's called Lim Tam. Just look up University of Texas at Dallas student that got arrested. So my point is, yes, we had a violent incident at one of my events. And I do think that this is the problem too. It only takes one bad apple to spoil the bunch. And there's a lot of bad apples there, maybe you'll say, but just somebody's having a bad day, and it just takes one person to escalate it, where it goes from kind of just arguing and yelling to something physical and dangerous.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking there. Alex Stein, thank you so much. Check out his stuff, Primetime 99.